grab a rag of acetone, and just let them soak. But then you go home smelling like acetone.
There's worse things to smell like going
Which scissors
home.
did he use? Justin? You use these ones to cut that? Okay.
But I believe they were $5 at Harbor Freight.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't beat it.
No, especially for throwaways.
We did a field training in Arizona, and we were like, "Damn, those are big." And they're like, "Yeah, just go to Harbor Freight." And next thing you know, we came back, we got them, and we're like, "Okay, yeah, they make a difference."
Give me
Okay.
your other ones. Or you see the way I tape that? I tape that end off. So no air can get in there, so it's just gonna suck the air from here that way out.
Okay.
So when you're rolling, you're not rolling out air and the resin. So all you're gonna do is cut a tip off of it. Should've got them fucking big ones.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm gonna go home and buy me some of those. Can't stand them in Milwaukee, so they just enough for your pancake.
Okay.
So your vacuum, Dylan will grab that vacuum. It's just a blue suction cup. About that long. Hooks up to a regular pancake.
Just a pancake? Okay.
Yeah.
And the pancake is like I asked you can use that for the curing process too, though, the same pancake?
No,
It has to be bigger?
you have to have a bigger one. And you need at least a minimum 75 CFM.
Oh, for the curing process? Okay. When you need the bladders on there.
No, for curing, not. I mean shooting.
Yeah, to shooting, yeah. I'm talking
Curing,
about
yes.
for curing.
Oh yeah.
We can use the same pancake
You're gonna
compressor.
run it up to 10 psi. That's it, and let it go. Unless it's 120 feet, then you got to go to the big tank that you can get it like Harbor Freight.
The
Home
double
Depot.
tank or
Yeah, the
something.
double tank. And then it will just go on here like that. You don't have to cut it on, Dylan. And then when you cut it on, it's just gonna stay like that.
Okay.
And then when you get the resin up to that point, you're gonna disconnect it, and then run your resin back out to that open end and squeeze it out what's in there.
Okay.
So that's your setup for that right there. So next we're gonna do the cow tube.
Okay. GoPro guide. Yeah. That's what I get. I tried to be ahead of the game too. I tried to buy chargers and batteries, but you know, they didn't charge. Well, they didn't charge large enough.
So on your cow tube, you're gonna start right at your line there because that's
Okay.
gonna be cut off.
Okay.
I always roll it out. Go back to that
To line, yep.
Exactly to that line. Okay. And then you're gonna go 3 feet past your shot.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
Always 3 feet. So this is your last mark here. So from this line here, you'll cut at 3 feet. Get your scissors or no?
What you want, big guys?
It don't matter.
Now, you said always go 3 feet. Is that only if your intro? What if your intro is 6 feet?
Then you
Jump.
go 3 feet past that.
So you'd be going 9 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll go at your start of your line.
Right?
At the end of your line, you'll go 3 feet past.
Okay.
You got strap you doing?
Because this was the intro, right?
Yeah, the pre-cut.
Yeah. Okay, so what's that?
Now, with this cow tube, you got to be careful.
Take that blue strip.
There's a rope inside.
Oh, okay.
Pull it out slowly, because if you pull it out too fast, it can cause heat friction and burn your cow tube.
Okay.
So I like to just go nice and slow.
What's the reason for the rope?
You can use that as a pull-and-play system.
Oh, okay.
But you see how real thin it is? I don't like using it. I'd rather go with the bigger strap because you can get your hand more around it.
Okay.
This is really
Like some
thin.
baling twine or
Yeah,
something.
that's
Maybe
all
smaller
it
than
is.
baler's twine.
Now this is pull strap.
Okay.
We have it in 1 inch and 2 inch. I say go with the 1 inch if you're only doing up to 4 inch, no more than 6 inch. But if you go 6 and up and you ever get into the 8 inch game, go with the 2 inch because it's stronger and you got more to pull on.
Okay.
You can go as far as you want with this. I say go 5 feet past, so it gives you some extra to hang out on the end. Like that. So then you're gonna take this end of this pull strap. You're gonna put a knot in it. Just like that. Then you're gonna take this end, 4 inches from the end of it. You're gonna fold this over, have that stick out, take it, see how small I made that? See where that knot's at?
Yep.
If you pull it and it ever comes loose from this end and goes in, it's gonna hit that other knot and not come out.
Safety knot.
Yeah. A lot of guys at like Hammerhead and all those other companies, they want you to fold it over, put a clamp, back, another clamp. And by the time you've done all them damn clamps, it is now this big. And when you go to pull out around a 90
It's gonna be a pain.
and a 45, it's gonna hit and it's gonna get stuck and you got to play with it. Yeah, it's gonna be a big pain.
Okay.
That's not coming undone.
That's not
No.
good. And that's your setup. That's all it is.
Okay.
So next we're gonna tape the cone to the back, and then we're gonna get our resin ready. We're gonna pour our resin in, run it through the roller, and then shoot it. See, I got just enough gonna hang out the back, and I'll show you how to not to lose it down the line. We're gonna tie it to the quick shot,
Oh, okay.
and it'll only go as far as you've got it linked up. It's not gonna go no further. But if you don't tie this down to the back, what happens is the air grabs hold of it, shoo, down the line it goes, and if you don't have a retriever, you're gonna call me up and be like, hey, how can I get this valve tube out? And I'm gonna be like, well, you gotta get a screwdriver and poke a hole through the liner in the backside and start twisting that screwdriver until it completely comes loose on the whole length of your shot.
Wow. Okay. So just a standard cone, nothing special.
Standard safety cone. What I would do is go on
Compressor?
Amazon. They sell them by the 10 pack of the little small plastic ones.
Okay.
Those are the best ones to get.
Okay.
And they're only
The
20
smaller
bucks.
ones?
Yeah, the small ones.
Any special duct tape or just duct tape?
Just regular duct tape.
Okay. I know there's like 10 different brands, so
Yeah.
some are, you got the Gorilla tape, which
I
is
prefer Gorilla, but only if it's for shooting down the line.
okay.
Because it sticks even when water hits it. It doesn't come apart. Not like the 3M at Walmart. It will slide.
Okay.
Okay. So we got that. This is ready. So now we'll do your calculations on your resin, and let's go pour resin.
So how important is it for this stuff to stay dry? Let's say it's spring, it's raining outside.
Very.
Okay.
Very,
So
yeah.
we want to make sure we got, if it's raining, we want to make sure we got pop-up set up and a tarp
Right.
probably
I would have an
down.
awning set up. Yep.
Okay.
Even in the summertime in the heat, you don't want to affect the resin and your work time.
Okay.
You want to try to keep it in shade because the heat will help cook it off. Don't
Right.
never roll out on cement that's hot because if you pour the resin in and it's cold and this is hot, it's going to heat that resin up.
Gotcha.
And there goes your work time where you think you got an hour and you now got 45 minutes. And if you guys are like, oh, I don't have clamps. Oh, where's the scissors?
Right.
Oh man, my drill's over there. You know, and it happens. And that's why we say follow that checkbook. But guys get so used to it, so used to doing it, they don't use the checkbook no more. They still forget the rubber bands. They still forget the clamps.
Something.
Yeah, the torque wrench. There's always something. How much resin?
So, this is what I was talking about. So you got 3, 4, 6, 8. So what we're gonna do is we're doing a 4-inch pipe at 3 mil, but we're gonna be using the flex.
Okay.
So you're gonna go down 3 mil to 4. That's gonna be 1.2. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna multiply. So you're gonna get your pipe to be lined, which is the 21.3, 21.3. So it tells you multiply pipe to be lined by appropriate resin factor, which is, like we said, 1.2. So times 1.20. So we need 25, and then the scale reads in fives. So we can do 25.55 or 25.60. 60. So I'll just go.
If this was 21 feet 6 inches, would I put 21.5?
21.6.
But what if it's 21 feet 11 inches?
You do 21.11.
Well, that would be 21 feet 1 inch.
No, yeah. When we round up, that's only on the scale. You got to go by the actual what the line
You
is.
don't go by like decimal points. So like if it's 21.6, it'd be 21.5.
You could round up if you wanted to, but I like to go on point. You know what we're lining.
I'm still confused. Because if I had 21 feet 11 inches, you'd say put 21.1. But if I had 21 feet 1 inch, I would put the same thing. So then I wouldn't have enough liner.
Oh, I get it.
On the calculator side of
on
things.
the calculator side of things.
So we probably would go up. We would make
Yeah,
our
yeah.
make
You
our
should go
liner.
up.
Yeah.
So we would go
21.8.
22.
Yeah.
So we'd go
22.
22 feet.
Okay. Yeah, 22.
And that way the calculations and everything map out. We'd have a little bit excess material.
Right.
Not very much.
Yeah, because that's why on my calculator I give you 2%. So if you want to go up on this, go ahead. It's not gonna
Yeah.
hurt. You're just gonna have leftover resin. You may have a pound, you may have 2 pounds.
Okay.
It's always better to have more because with the flex, it does drain more
Better
resin.
have more than less.
Yeah, because that felt's really more thicker than a regular scrim, so it's gonna take more resin. So as you roll it, if you roll it too much, then you lose resin because you're soaking it more in that felt.
Okay.
So giving a little bit extra never
Never
hurts.
hurts.
Okay.
Cool.
If you want to round
makes
out
sense.
to your top number, go ahead.
Okay. You good? Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
I see what your question
I
was.
understood what he was saying. Yeah.
The calculator's the problem.
Yeah. So this one, like I said, is 25.56. We can go 25.60 or 25.55. So for this instance, we'll just go 25.60. Round up. Okay. So now it's going to tell you, and this is for the 2-to-1. So now it's telling you take total resin needed, divide by 3 for B resin. So we said it was going to be 25.60, and we're going to divide it by 3. So that's telling me I'm going to round up to 8.55. So that's telling me I need 8.55 pounds of B resin. Okay. And then we go to that bottom part, and then it says multiply the result by 2 for A resin. So 8.55, and we're going to times it by 2, 17.1. So you always got to remember your A is always going to be double your B. That's how it always is going to be.
Gotcha.
So now we know what we need. We need 8.55 of B and 17.1 of A. So now that we got it, we can get our bucket ready. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this thing called a bucket liner. I already had it out. These are called bucket liners. They sell them here.
Okay.
What it is it helps saves your bucket. So what I'm gonna do here, we can take it to the table. So I'm just gonna put it in here, and all you're gonna need are 3 little slabs of tape. The 3 slabs of tape.
Bucket liner.
3 slabs of tape is help keeping the bucket liner from spinning while you're mixing it.
Oh, okay.
So after you're done inverting it, blah blah blah. If you can remember, all you gotta do is take the tape off, pull the bucket liner out, and all it is inside here.
Right.
It's not in your actual bucket.
concrete too.
Right?
So I like to do across, and then one the opposite way,
These are expensive, yeah.
just like this.
Okay.
So just like that, and then I can grab my marker. And what I like to do with these bucket liners too, what I like to do is instead of running back to your paperwork, what I'm gonna do from right here, I'm gonna put A, B.
Oh, there you go.
So now
That's
I
smart.
now I know I need.
There's a few over here. Yeah, it's right here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now I know my B, I need 855. And then my A, I need 17.1. So I'll do 10 because that's how it reads on the scale. So while this is on the scale, I can physically look at it and I know how much to pour. Instead of like, hey, go grab the paper.
Right.
Cool. So there's that, and I'm gonna put it on the scale now.
We can do one today with that one.
Okay.
And I have resin over here too if you want to see the other one.
Okay.
That way you can see the difference of how to get it ready.
So the compute, I mean, not to get on the other side, but the app that you showed, that just gets rid of all that paperwork.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the same thing, but just on a technology.
Yeah.
So we got that set up. So before you start mixing, it's always a good idea to check your equipment. Check if your compressor, like this one, it needs diesel. So check if your compressor has diesel. Check if everything you got's plugged in, your power drill, because you don't want to. Once you start mixing, those two chemicals mix. That's when you start. Okay, that's when you knock down the time, and you're like, all right, I started mixing
just
at
a matter of
9:05.
time to get it in or else.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Let me go get a box.
This resin, the kind that you gotta mix before, like transferring it over into another case.
Yes, pre-mix the white bucket before you do the green. Yeah, the green you won't have to because it's so thick. But the white bucket here, you will have to pre-mix it before you add it.
Pre-mix it
Yeah.
before you.
It has a
So hit it with
catalyst
the
that floats to the
the
bottom.
mixer.
Yeah, just for like a minute. Yeah.
Okay. And then as far as like, I've seen some different color, like I've seen some blue, some green. Is it all just the pigment of whatever it is? You can't change it?
Permaliner adds dye, blue dye to theirs. That's
Okay.
why they can tell the difference between everybody else.
Okay.
Because the manufacturer pretty much sells to everybody
Okay.
that makes these liners.
And we can't
So-
change it in the field. We can't change the color.
You can, but you got to get a dye that's approved for epoxy.
Oh, okay.
People
Oh,
have
really?
done it. Oh yeah, I've seen guys change it to pink. Just so
Yeah, I seen a red one, like a pinkish reddish.
Pinkish red, yeah. You can,
I was like,
there's a guy in the Midwest called Superior. He does that, where he makes his like a bright orange. That way, nobody can go in and he can say, "Oh yeah, that's my liner. That's orange. I did it. Oh, it's blue. It's not mine."
right.
Yeah, we used the food coloring.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Those
epoxy
kind of
approved.
food
Yeah.
coloring.
Oh, the food coloring is on?
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. But it'd probably be hard to change it from blue to anything else.
Well, it's white until you add a dye to it. It's
Oh,
like a
okay.
clear color.
So we put the dye in the field? Oh, okay. All right.
What
But
color you wanna
you're gonna
do?
get it
Red?
unless you
We're
tell
going
us.
fluorescent green. What are you talking about?
There you go. Unless you tell us
I
it's
like
coming
that.
blue.
Okay. Okay.
It's just ours is you can't put dye in it because it comes like a blackish blue.
Okay. So from the pipelining supply, it would
Yeah,
be
it's one color.
okay.
Yeah.
But permaliner, we can change the color in the field,
If you tell them that you don't want it with the dye.
color based.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we're fine with whatever. It makes it easier just to shoot it the color it is.
They come originally, but we do trainings and some people are like, oh, I want to see how it looks like with dye, so we'll add dye. That's why it's blue. It's not always blue.
Okay.
It's
It
clear.
does look better once it's lined in, because then you can clearly see.
Yeah, you
what
see it. It's got
you've
color in the
done.
pipe. Right.
Okay. So we probably do need to get some
I mean,
kind
with
of color
people
in there.
crapping in it, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That's why you run your final
Yeah,
video
here
right
goes.
afterwards.
It looks like this now, but later on.
Like, oh, this looks spanking good.
Yes, we need to hook the vacuum up, and we need to show them one more thing before we do that too.
Yeah.
Are they smaller?
A little bit, but they're stretchy. They're kind of cheap though. The one right there.
So what is a 5-gallon bucket weigh? You said like what, 20 pounds?
A 5-gallon bucket?
If it's full?
Well, a 5-gallon bucket full of water is 40,
Okay.
like 45.
Okay.
So these are probably like 50 pounds, 55.
So we'd be using like half a bucket.
Yeah.
Half a bucket
That's
and like
why
a third of a
that's why I
bucket.
asked about
It's like
the
barely
mixing
full.
before,
Probably not
because
enough.
if you don't use a whole entire bucket, then
Can save it.
The resin that we were using, you had to mix it because it's like two components in it
Oh.
for the polyester one, and you had to mix it before dumping it into like another bucket or whatnot. So if you were only going to use half of that, then
It would be garbage?
No, just figure in
Or
that.
you can reuse it.
So you can reuse it,
Oh,
So
okay.
what you want
but
to do
you
with
want
this
to
flex,
mix it up so it's
to help with the
together and
stretching,
not separated.
you want to pull on it.
Oh, okay. On the flex line?
On the flex, only on the flex line.
Okay. That thing stretches quite a bit.
And that's what you want to eliminate is that. So see, you can see where I stretch it. You can see the wrinkles in it, kind of.
Yeah.
That's where I stretch it. So I've helped eliminate a little bit of the stretch. That's also why I shot short. So now instead of having that much short, I'm gonna try to hit the mark. But a lot of times it'll draw back. It's like a rubber band. Once you let go, you know it's gonna
Yeah.
snap back. So now we can hook the vacuum up. Make sure it gets pressure. See it's stuck in the right way.
Yeah. A lot. Oh, you see already done.
Alright, so now we'll pre-mix our white bucket.
And then whoever mixes, just wear safety glasses.
Okay.
And everything's checked. This would be a good time to, like I said, check everything. Go to the bathroom if you need to. Smoke a cigarette, whatever you got to do.
You're on the clock once you mix.
Once those two chemicals mix together, you got to go in sixth gear from there on out.
Okay.
So like he said, I'm gonna go. Like this is the warm, and it'll tell you 50 to 70 degrees is your warm.
Okay.
We got extreme cold is 0 to 30 degrees, cold 30 to 50, warm 50 to 70, and hot 70
And that's your outside air.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And you've got half of the hot and half of the cold.
Okay.
You're like right on that tipping mark for changing buckets.
Yeah.
You want to just go on the up.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind, you always want someone, whoever's gonna mix. The other person stand by with a rag of acetone to wipe that bucket off. You don't ever want to put that lid back on because then you're gonna be hitting it with a hammer, grabbing a monkey wrench, and it's just gonna be a headache.
Okay. So you're talking about just wiping like the rim
Yeah, wipe
Okay.
it all this
Gotcha.
when I pour.
for the splatter or whatever?
Right, and then you can see right here, it tells you due to settling of contents, please pre-mix.
Okay.
So you only want to give it about a minute mix. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in.
Because you don't want to start too much chemical reaction.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna mix and I'm gonna go up and down.
You prefer a corded drill?
You could use any drill.
Cordless is fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
cordless is fine.
When you get into the 40-pound buckets of mixing, you're gonna need like a hammer drill or one that does concrete.
Okay.
That thing's gonna burn out after like 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
Because that resin gets thick.
We've got a like a mud mixer.
Mud mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Milwaukee mud mixer.
These are for
That's one I
concrete.
use, but
Yeah, I use Milwaukee.
Yeah.
we use it to mix concrete all the time.
There you go. That's the one I got.
Okay.
A mud mixer is perfect. I mean, you can do any kind of weight with that thing.
I was like, that thing's still going, and I mixed 1,000 buckets of concrete.
I mean, you can use any drill, but the best one I can recommend is getting a cord one. You don't ever want to go on a job site and go, oh shit, batteries are dead. They're not charged. And then you got the resins mixed already, and then at that point, it's you either get a mixing stick or someone has an extra battery. So that's why I like the corded ones. So like that should be about good.
And how close to your mixing station? How close do you want it to your liner? Like where we are right now?
So your roller, like where the van's at right now.
Okay.
If you can get that close. If you can't, it's fine.
Okay.
You got time to walk it to your quick shot and your roller when you're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, so now that that's mixed, I'm ready to pour it in. I'm gonna zero my scale out.
Yep. Because it read like 5.6. Yep.
So I'm gonna zero it out. And from
This
here,
is the A mix.
this is the B.
B.
Okay.
I always go B first because this one, when it gets cold, tends to clump up a lot, and you'll see right now too. So I'm gonna need 8.55 pounds. So I'm gonna pour. And you're gonna see how much easier this one's to pour than the other one.
Have you guys had any complaints? People, the smell
From the resin?
from the resins as it's doing its thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, neighbors and whatnot? Okay. Because that was one thing when I was taking the ITCP training. They're like, you should probably send out notices to neighbors, letting them know that you're going to be in the
It's
area.
not as bad as their resin.
Okay.
That pull-in-place resin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as bad as theirs.
Okay.
Okay, now what I did is I zeroed my scale.
Okay.
I did what I had to do. So now I'm gonna get my A.
May not be enough for 17, huh?
So what we
Didn't you get a new one?
Yeah. We'll get this new one. And this is the one where you gotta kind of like be careful.
So is there a storage life? Let's say you got this third of a bucket here. How long can we keep it in the truck before we should throw it away?
Expiration date's on the top.
Okay, so it's actually good to that, even though it's been opened up.
Should be 6
Right.
months.
Okay.
Even after open, it's 6 months.
And is there a problem with the blue either? I mean, the blue, we can keep it. If we have some buckets, we could.
That's the blue right there.
Okay, yeah.
That has- Now, I will tell you, I've had a bucket sit for a year, and then when they would use it, it was still good. As long as you store it right, and I'll say around 70 degrees and under,
Okay.
you'll be okay.
Okay.
But once you let heat and moisture, I got bad humidity in Texas. If I open that lid up and I leave it overnight, I'm coming back tomorrow, it's done, it's jello.
Okay.
So this way you gotta be careful because it's to the top.
Right, right.
So you gotta be careful when pouring it. So now I got a zero. Now I need 17.10 pounds. So what I'm gonna do?
The molasses in the wintertime right there. Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
And the pipelining supply process material would be the same? Open one bucket, mix them, nothing different. Just
It's a 4 to 1, where this is 2 to 1.
Right,
So
right, right.
you'll use 4 pounds to 1 pound.
Gotcha. There's the acetone. That's what you need acetone for, huh?
Now I'm gonna take it off the scale to mix.
Okay.
Once I start mixing is when you start clocking the time. 9:15 is when I'm gonna start mixing. And you like to give it about a 3-minute mix,
Okay.
or until you see color change. So you'll see it'll go from a dark blue to like kind of like a creamy.
I don't have to worry about like running the drill along the sides of the bucket or anything.
No, because you got that liner. Even if you were doing a regular bucket, you wouldn't. That mixing bit's not going to mess it up.
No.
And you guys have the same mixing bit.
Okay. And that liner's good enough where you could take a couple bumps against the sidewalls and it wouldn't blow a hole in it? Okay. Before the frozen clean. Yeah. Being a lot lighter. So we had put a small chest freezer in our trailer, but if we're not going to be above 70 degrees, do we keep it in there, or definitely have to use that one? That has to be in a freezer.
That'll have to be temperature controlled.
Okay.
Let me show you the way you read this one. Let's say it's 50 degrees right now. you have 180 minutes, 3 hours of work time before it's gonna kick off and start going crazy and burning, smoking.
Okay.
To cure it at 50 degrees, you're looking about 9.5 to 10 hours on cure time in the
Okay.
ground. That's why I was telling you before
The heater.
a heater would it'll cure this in an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll definitely get investment out there. I guess I gotta get the Pacote tool first. Before the heater comes into play.
So then you can see how I turn the little
I mean, you can still ambient cure that. Just if you got some place that's not in service that needs to be back in service right away, like if it's just a farm and rolling that's shut down,
Yeah.
you can do hours and let it cook overnight. You come
Yeah.
back and pull it the next day.
Yeah.
But if you got somebody that needs it right then and there,
I'm usually telling my customers you're gonna be about 8 hours of downtime.
there you go.
So
So
he's gonna hold the cone while I pour it,
okay.
while I also keep a foot on the liner.
Okay.
Now, if you don't want to do the foot, you can put it in your roller and clamp it down.
Okay.
So he's got that. So from here, I'm just gonna start pouring. And communication right here is the best key, 'cause he's gonna let me know, hey, I'm going down, or hey, I'm going up, and that's gonna be key, because you wanna let your resin guy know.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Watch your foot. Let it go down.
Beautiful blue.
Okay. You need the scissors. You bring your scissors? Go grab them.
I'll go grab 'em.
Yeah, this should be right here, to the right. And that little
We're
black.
dripping too.
Oh. On the actual roller drill thing, isn't that?
On the roller leg.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
And you want to be like what, 4 or 5 feet away from the cone then, I guess, your foot? Or does it really matter? I guess if you have a lot more resin, your foot's a little further down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just have it on the roll or pinching it.
Okay.
Fuck, Chris. My bad. Let it harden up. We'll chip it off.
Yeah. You wanna go for that?
Get out of the way. Let me move that cone around. So as soon as you move your foot, that thing's probably gonna suck that right down there, huh?
No.
Oh, it's
Slowly
slow.
move it, but
Okay.
we have time to get it now to the roller.
Okay.
We, as long as it doesn't go past that line, we can go past that line about that much.
Okay.
You ready? Go to the van. I was gonna use the electric roller, but this is what you got.
Okay.
But yours is on a frame with an extension that's
Okay.
portable on and off the van.
Okay. You know, are there like settings on it, or I guess you'll probably tell us.
I will. There's in your book in the back. It tells you where to set it.
Okay.
I do it where I'm comfortable.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's about 7 millimeter. Where I want it.
That's cool that just sticks to
To the liner?
the liner.
Yeah. And then it just starts.
Then I'm gonna roll it through.
We were always shoving the hose and tube.
Speed,
into
just
the-
slow and easy.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
want to keep it towards the middle.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, I can pretty much look at it and go, okay, I want it right there.
Do you guys have
Then I
like
just roll
a
it through.
spacing box?
That's what I just asked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Said about 7 millimeters.
Actually, than these.
Here you go.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And also a measurement.
And then there's your measurement. I go 7 millimeter on the flex. I should be close to it, right?
Oh, flash.
I'm like-
Yeah, you are like right there. And if you do it too tight, obviously you're gonna push more resin than you need to.
Yeah.
Too loose, it's not gonna evenly distribute it. Okay. So this is pretty critical then, as far as. And I was thinking once this gets rolled out to throw it in like a black garbage or like a garbage can.
I say get the trays that you do the oil changes in. You find them in the
Oh,
concrete
okay.
department at Home Depot.
Yeah. Just throw it in that.
Those big black trays. Yeah, those will work.
Oh, okay. Trying to figure out a way to.
Overspill trays.
Yes. They use them to mix the concrete in.
They're those big black tote square
Right.
tubs.
Those would work.
Make it easier to transport.
You gotta do it.
So you're just kind of keeping it kinked off back here to make sure to push like.
Whenever you get white spots like that, you will get it on the way back through. If they're big, then you want
and then the reason
to roll
you
back
keep
and
it
forth.
is to make sure this
It's up
gets
to you.
really
If you want to
impregnated
get them all at one
with the
time, you
resin.
can, but you're on the clock, so you want to roll this out.
So you always make 2 passes.
Yeah. Because you got to drain the excess, the 2% waste I got in there out.
Oh, I got you. So you'd have like a bucket or something over here catching this excess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where are we at? Am I close to it?
Here's our line right here.
Yeah, you're still a ways away.
We're about out of here. It's all good. We got enough.
Went into the middle.
This is that heater, Mark. Hooks up to that quick shot. You guys steam? You guys were water curing or?
I use hot water. There is steam.
We
Just
were
hot
mainly
water.
doing ambient, but there's there's a few times where we were steaming it.
Yeah.
Only
is
thing
just-
about steam is if you're doing it in basements, you get all that moisture build up inside of there.
So this is just recirculating hot water then, huh?
Yeah. At 185 degrees.
With the steam, you gotta make sure you have like a clean out
Pull it through.
bed or whatnot.
The resin's right here.
Somewhere where the steam can go.
Oh.
We were mainly doing the steam off of the T-liner shots.
So you're ambient. Most laterals, you're just ambient.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had the steam hookup. But
Yeah.
We had this like little steam pig type deal, and that thing was a pain to operate. So like, fuck that.
Yeah. So when you get these little white blisters, you kind of work that back and forth, and then it soaks
Yeah,
it
I've
in.
seen that.
See, there's some coming
They
through
want to
here.
get rid of all the little white spots on it.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it's good to have dye in it. Makes that easier.
You're right there.
I want to go like an inch past it.
Okay.
That's why give me waste. You don't have to hold it.
Squeeze behind you.
So see, I went past it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Now we're gonna push it back.
I need that bucket that's out there, please. I'll bring it over. And
Then we're going back the other way.
the other way, you're not going to take your time. You're just going to blow it all, right back.
Okay. We're gonna set that bucket up. Can I see how hard that is, Jordan? Okay. It does have some torque. I mean, it's hard. It's not
you need
easy.
some muscle on it. No, you're good. Go ahead. Right, hold on.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay,
Yeah.
lost
It's
it.
coming out anyway, so. And then on the end here, I just like massage it in and get it loose. And that's it.
So this should probably be
So
like
open
a
this up.
2-guy rolling station, and one to keep it in the center and do what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
2 guys is ideal.
If one guy can control it from the back and you control it this way while you're turning, it'll stay in the middle.
Okay.
But if you just do like I just did and just rock it through, because we're at the end,
Yeah.
it's gonna go back and forth.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, because we added up, we bumped it up to the next part, but that's what I wanted to show them, how much they're gonna waste if they round it up plus the 2%. Yeah, too.
So is there anything with this stage that you can go wrong? I mean, if you're too aggressive on squeezing that out, or no? Okay, just yeah, okay.
So you're basically just getting out the access that you want flying around in your machine and hardening it up.
So would there be a, like if we got like a tray or something, we'd be able to roll it through the whole machine and just roll it out as opposed to you squeezing it out?
You're still got to get out the access because this is why when you rounded it up, this is how much extra resin you have because you rounded up, and I gave you 2% of waste.
Right.
If you would have just went with the 2%, you would have had about that much instead of. I think that's it.
So that rounding down would have took away that excess material would have compensated for that extra point whatever running down.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I can explain it all day, but if I show it to you, then you get it more.
No, I understand totally. Yeah.
Right.
More of a visual.
And that stuff's
learner
not too
anyways.
potent. I
Yeah,
mean,
me
that
too.
seems like the chemical you guys were using was a lot more pungent. Like it
Yeah.
was burn your nostrils.
Yeah, you definitely didn't want to inhale it very long.
And this isn't that bad to
Like-
inhale. I mean, can't even really smell it.
You'll still get people complaining about the
Okay.
smell and whatnot, but
When it starts smoking is when you're gonna smell
That's
it.
the smell. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
But it's still not as strong as that IPT stuff
Mhm.
that Mr. Manners has.
I mean, they can smell epoxy or the sewer.
Right. I think vinyl ester is the worst one out there to use. You don't want to smell it.
Uh huh.
But you can't use that in the house unit. The smell won't go away for about 8 months.
Wow. So right now we're on the clock as far as cure time.